Ladies and gentlemen, I have the best idea, the biggest idea. We're introducing 50-year mortgages. Absolutely tremendous. You might pay them off when you're 92, maybe 104, who knows? But the beautiful monthly repayments, beautiful, everybody's saying it.
Alright, let's talk about this properly. Are longer loan terms really a bad thing, or can they actually help you build wealth faster? And stick around, because today's success story is about a couple who used a longer loan term to buy a coastal investment property that's already jumped over 60k in value in just a couple of short months. Welcome back to Brisbane Property Uncovered. I'm Mac Loxton from MoneyQuest Manly. Today we're diving into a question making headlines around the world and that investors should not be afraid to explore. Do longer loan terms actually make you wealthier? In the US, there's real discussion about 50-year mortgages. Here in Australia, people panic over 30-year terms. Meanwhile, some lenders already offer 40-year mortgages right now. But the length of your home loan is not the real story. The real story is, smart investors don't choose loan terms based on how long they want to stay in debt. They choose them based on how far they want their wealth to go. So, here's what most people miss. A longer loan term does not mean you'll be stuck paying forever. You're irresponsible. You'll work until you're 90 or 104. What it actually means is lower required repayments, which boosts your borrowing power. You'll have better cash flow, which lets you invest sooner with more flexibility, because you can always pay extra. A 30-year or a 40-year loan term is simply the maximum you're allowed to finish early. Banks don't stop you, but banks absolutely do use the term to limit your borrowing power. So the negatives and why they don't scare investors. Yes, a longer loan term means more interest over time, no debate. But investors don't hold mortgages to the end. They restructure, refinance, buy again, leverage, equity, or sell long before 30 or 40 years. Homeowners fear debt and investors control it. That's the difference. So is this just the hamster wheel? Let's address it. I know what you're thinking. Mac, isn't this just another way to keep us in debt forever? Another trap, another hamster wheel? And honestly, yes, it absolutely can be. If you don't understand the system, if you panic about the negatives, if you try to wing it without strategy. But here's the truth. The system isn't designed to trap investors. It's designed to reward people who understand leverage. When you step back and look at generational wealth, every family who built long-term wealth did it through controlled debt, smart structures, capital growth, long-term planning, not fast repayments. This isn't about being in debt forever. This is about building something that lasts forever. Your kids and your kids' kids will thank you for the decisions you make today. So here's my success story. The coastal investment that jumped 60k. Now, let me share a perfect example of using structure, not fear. A couple had been with the same bank for over 10 years. Their loan was shortening, repayments climbing, borrowing power shrinking. They assumed they couldn't invest. The bank certainly wasn't encouraging it. When they refinanced with me, here's what we did. We pushed their loan back out to a 30-year term. Not because they wanted a longer debt horizon, but because it boosted their borrowing capacity significantly. They used that freed up capacity to buy an investment unit at the coast, a dream they'd had for years. Airbnb potential, personal use when vacant, long-term growth upside, and here's the kicker. They only bought it a few months ago and it's already increased by over 60k. Not because they waited, not because they played it safe, but because they used the system strategically. Investors think differently about debt. Debt isn't the danger, debt without a plan is. When you structure borrowing power correctly, you unlock equity, cash flow, investment potential, SMSF opportunities, multi-property strategies, generational wealth pathways. This is how you get ahead. Here's your cherry takeaway, the cherry on top. A shorter loan term feels responsible. A longer loan term gives you options. And wealth is built through options, not limitations. If you're self-employed, thinking SMSF, or building an investment portfolio, your loan term isn't about how long you'll stay in debt. It's about how far your borrowing power can take you. If you want to explore refinancing, SMSF lending, asset finance, business lending, or an investment lending that actually moves you forward, I'm Mac Loxton from MoneyQuest Manly. Strategy isn't optional, it's everything. Thanks for listening to Brisbane Property Uncovered. See you in the next episode.